Welcome to Recipes for Life. I'm Dr. Beth, and today's show is all about detoxification. Now, this is a process that the body is continually doing because we need to get rid of chemicals and pesticides and additives, preservatives, antibiotic residues, hormone residues, heavy metals, all types of carcinogens that we ingest on a daily basis. And the good news is that the body, the way that God designed it, is fully equipped to do this. We have our skin, and we do get rid of toxins through our sweat. We have our digestive system, and we get rid of toxins and various types of debris through our natural elimination channels. And we also have things like sneezing. Sneezing is simply a natural way that the body responds to, if we were to inhale something that the body wanted to reject, that we could simply, that's how the body would reject it. But the primary system or organ of the body that is designed to get rid of the body's toxins is the liver. So if the body is overloaded with toxins, it can put a tremendous burden on the liver, and it will not be able to as efficiently cleanse us with toxins. So we can help the body by consciously making an effort to reduce the intake of these things that I mentioned, the chemicals, the pesticides, the additives, the heavy metals, the hormonal residue. And so what that requires is education, which foods contain these things and what ways of food processing create these things. For example, we know that microwaving creates carcinogens. We know that deep frying creates carcinogens. We know that natural grass-fed beef that doesn't contain hormones is better for us. According to Dr. Samuel Epstein, chairman of the Cancer Prevention Coalition, increased levels of sex hormones are linked to the escalating incidence of reproductors in the United States since 1975. We've seen a 60% increase in prostate cancer, 59% increase in testicular cancer, and 10% increase in breast cancer. When cattle are given these hormonal implants, usually 90 to 100 days before they go to slaughter, it dramatically increases their weight, which then increases the amount of money they can get. But the problem is that their hormones rate are increased by 20 times more than normal or natural levels. And what we're seeing is that if a child were to eat 2 small, child-sized hamburgers in a day, his estrogen levels increase by 10%. And this is where the problem has come in with all of the incidences we have in childhood cancer. This is not natural. It's too much for the liver to try to deal with. And so what we want to do is enhance our liver's ability to get rid of these toxins. And we can do this by eating certain types of foods. So what we're doing is that we're getting rid of the bad, we're eliminating, the hormones and the carcinogens and the trans fats and all these types of things, the heavy metals, etc. And then we are increasing the types of foods that support the liver's function. So the goal then is to increase your intake of the types of foods that support the liver's function to detox. So we're going to go over what I would call my top best detox foods. So let's start out with the cabbage. We've got cabbage and broccoli. All of the cruciferous vegetables are very high in sulfur, and they support the liver's function to detox. And basically all of your fresh greens, But spinach in particular is very high in a component that supports the liver. We've got cucumber and we've got all of our fresh herbs. And these three in particular, I've got mint and cilantro and parsley. These three in particular are very, of course, high in chlorophyll, which is one of the nutrients that also helps detox the body. But they contain other nutrients to support the liver. And we've got onions and garlic. We've got a carrot. And one thing I do want to point out is that to get the best liver supporting power out of these is you do need to eat them raw. So, you know, you could eat a coleslaw with the cabbage and the carrot. You could eat a spinach salad. What we're going to be doing next is we're going to be making a green smoothie out of the spinach and the mint and the herbs and also the avocado. The avocado is another very powerful, it's actually a fruit, grows on a tree, that contains nutrients that support the liver. I've got also lentils and all beans and almonds, and I've got some flax seeds over there. Now these are very powerful detox foods because of all the fiber they contain. And remember that our digestive system through its elimination channels is a very important part of our detox system. And of course the flaxseed you do want to grind before you use them because they're so small they'll literally pass right through the body. So we've got some tomatoes here, another excellent, it's actually also a fruit to help support the liver, and actually all types of fresh fruit. I've got apples, very high in fiber, strawberries, again, very high in fiber, and all berries. And all berries, of course, are very high in antioxidants, which are very important and a very important nutrient to support the liver. Of course, citrus and apricots, we've got bananas there, and we've got the lime and the lemon. These are the types of foods, simply natural, whole foods, just the way that God made them, support the body in detox. Now, when I'm counseling people, one of the common questions I get is, you know, how do I do a detox? And you know, it's a strange question to me because I understand that the liver is always detoxing. We're always in a state of detox. But I know what people are saying. They want to know, you know, well, what can I do to support this process? And again, eliminate the bad, focus on the good, focus on raw, live foods as much as possible. And one other thing I want to mention is I've got some chlorella tablets here. This is one of my very favorite supplements to support the detox system of the body. It's the highest natural source of chlorophyll, which we're going to go into a little bit more detail in just a few minutes here. So what I want to do now is I want to show you how I make my green smoothie. Now, this green smoothie would be something that I would typically have for either breakfast or lunch if I was, you know, especially trying to, you know, detox my body. And let's say I had this for lunch. For breakfast, I probably would have had maybe some almonds and some fruit, or maybe a little bit of yogurt and some fruit. So I want to show you how easy it is to make this smoothie, and you know, of course, I want to tell you why I'm choosing these ingredients. So first of all, I want to start out with the yogurt that I told you that I made from raw milk. And it's actually the whey that is very high in glutathione. Whey protein has shown to increase the glutathione in the liver. Now, if you were to go to the store and purchase the processed whey protein, it actually does not. The processing does something to the whey protein, and this does not increase the glutathione in the liver. Now, glutathione is really the primary nutrient when we're concerned about detox. We want to eat foods that increase the glutathione in the liver. Glutathione is an antioxidant. The more glutathione in the liver, the more powerful detoxability it has. So one of the other things we're going to put in our green smoothie is we're going to put in a big old handful of fresh spinach. And as I mentioned earlier, you're looking for raw. You don't want cooked. Cooking does diminish the abilities of the glutathione to increase. Now, as a side note, you can't supplement glutathione because it does not increase glutathione in the liver or the body. You actually have to consume the supporting nutrients so the body can make it. It has to be made in the cells. It doesn't work if you supplement it. It's one of those rare times that this is true. So the next thing I want to put in is a little bit of mint. Now, the interesting thing about mint is I started putting it in my green smoothies because I love the flavor. Without mint, to me, the green smoothie is a little bit boring. So this, to me, it started out to be for flavor. But then I did some research and I found out that there's something in the mint that protects the glutathione in the liver from breaking down, from getting used up. So mint has a special property, and I'm just going to add a little bit more because I love the taste. You can put some fresh fruit in here. I just happen to have some melon, so I'm just going to throw in a few chunks of that to help sweeten it up a little bit. And then I want to put in some freshly ground flaxseed. You don't need very much, and you do need to grind it because the little seeds are so tiny they would pass right through the body. Just takes a few seconds to grind. And then just dump that right in. That was probably about a tablespoon. You really don't need more than that for one serving. And then I'm going to add a good probably ounce and a half of lime juice. And I'm going to add half an avocado. And avocados are way at the top of the list, like spinach, to increase your glutathione levels in the liver. And of course, they're loaded with fiber, loaded with healthy fat. They're very, very good for you. And of course, for the most part, avocados are eaten raw. So we also want to add just a little handful here of parsley and a handful of cilantro. And cilantro is, again, one of the stars. It dramatically increases your glutathione levels. You could put the stems in too, but I'm just going to take a few of them out. And then the last thing I want to add is a couple of ice cubes. So we're just going to get that going. And we're going to start it out on low and then increase the speed. So it's pretty well mixed together, and it's looking awesome, creamy. Bon appetit. So we've been talking a lot about glutathione, which is really the star of the show as far as the master detoxer and antioxidant, which supports the liver. So again, all fruits and vegetables that are fresh and raw contain glutathione. Some of the highest ones would be, again, the spinach, also tomatoes, avocados, grapefruit. These are very high in glutathione, and also